Hi, Eric Wilson here, independent licensed mechanic, 30 years of experience. In the next short while, I'm going to show you the inside story on this 2014 Dodge Journey RT all-wheel drive. So what I'm just going to do is just give you a quick perusal of the body here, up on the hoist, and then I'm going to take you underneath and show you the inside story. Now, coming in on the front left tire, you got about 40 to 50%, definitely down but not out on all season radios on the front left. Now coming behind the front left tire, first thing I want to point out, this is the left lower ball joint, and it is critical to be tight because it holds the wheel to the chassis, and it is tight. On your front brakes, you've got about 20,000 K left on your front brake. This rubber boot is the outer CV boot, and it's full of grease, and if it was ripped, you see it dripping all over the place. The inner CV boot, little hard, yeah, I'll get a better shot here. Okay, yeah, the inner CV boot right there, that again, full of grease. It was ripped, you see grease all over the place. Now, this is the most important thing in the whole car because it's the only thing, this is the outer tie rod, left outer tie rod, and it's the only thing that holds the left wheel to the steering, and it is tight. The shock, if you just follow that black tube up there, that shock is full of oil. And if it was leaking, you'd see it dripping down all the way down there. In fact, that shock's been recently changed because that is not the original equipment. So that's pretty much brand new. Somebody has also replaced the front end, the front sway bar link connector from there to there. So definitely somebody spent a lot of money on this front end. Okay, so but that and yeah, so far so good on the front left side. Now coming across to the bottom of the motor here, okay, now the leak point would be right on the motor there, good and dry. Another leak point would be in the bottom of the tranny here, good and dry. So leak-wise, I'm not seeing anything of any issue so far. Coming to the right front side, again about 40% tread on all season radios, down but definitely not out. The right lower ball joint, that is tight. The right outer CV boot, good and dry. The right inner CV boot, good and dry. The right front strut, if you follow it up, they're full of oil. If it was leaking, you see it dripping all the way down here, and that is good and dry. About 20,000 K on your front brake. Your right outer tie rod is this is tight. In fact, this has been recently replaced as well. The right front strut connected from there to here, that's been recently replaced as well. So somebody's obviously spent a lot of money on the front end of this vehicle. Now coming down, following down this is where your drive shaft comes out for your rear diff there, and a leak point would be right there. Now see for yourself, good and dry. So your exhaust, everything intact, no cracks, no breaks. Another leak point right here would be where the rear comes into the rear diff, good and dry. Another leak point would be right here where the left CV boot sleeve comes out of the diff, good and dry, and the right CV boot coming out, good and dry, or you see oil all around that. Now on your, coming down to your left rear tire, about 40% tread on aggressive snow tire, or all season radios, I should say. The left sway bar link connector from here to here intact. The left the left strut, again, full of oil. If it was leaking, you see it dripping all the way down here, good and dry. Brand new caliper on the back, yeah, and brakes about 15,000 K. A little less brakes on the rear than you have on the front, but definitely somebody spent a lot of money because that's not a cheap part to buy. Now, coming across to the right rear tire, again about 40% tread on all season radios. The right rear shock, your strut, good and dry. The right rear sway bar link connector from here to here, about 15,000 K on your rear brakes. Your right outer CV boot, good and dry, and the left outer CV boot, same thing, full of grease. If it was ripped, you see it right away. And the left inner CV boot, good and dry. The right CV boot, good and dry. So brake-wise, leak-wise, suspension-wise, I'm not seeing anything of any issue so far. Okay, you've got 177,416, no check engine light that I can see. Low tire, but then you gotta get some air in your tires there. That'll turn that light out. Yeah. Now what I do, your dash, nice and clean. Your heater blowing nice and warm. No cracks in your windshield. And I'm going to take out and show you the condition of the motor now. 3.6 motor, very common. Shot of the exhaust with the motor running. Very, very clean. Now, something I always do is I take a look underneath the oil cap for any kind of indication of white goo, which would be a mixture of oil and antifreeze, which would be an internal leak and a big problem. I am not seeing any indication of this. In fact, I'm not hearing any indication of any problem in this motor. It's running very smoothly. My test drive, I've taken it out then. It ran very nicely. So that's my estimation of this vehicle. I don't know anything of any real concern on this vehicle. Definitely the Ks are low, but hopefully this will help you make an informed decision. Now, if you buy the vehicle, come back to me because I'm going to put on a free 10% fuel saving device that I've used for 20 years. Doesn't cost you a penny and it only takes me 15 minutes to put it on. You're out the door and you're saving 10% on your fuel. It just a really cool little gadget, but it actually works and it's free. Hopefully this will help you make an informed decision. Have a good one.